in the last 3 years. The technology arm of Goyal Brothers Prakashan. Bright Tutee provides online digital learning content for the K-12 level in a variety of languages for more than 20 educational boards in all of the major subjects.
With this note, I would like to hand over today's webinar to Mr. Satish. He's a very renowned teacher having the experience of more than 25 years in the industry. So, sir, the stage is all yours now, and you may begin with the webinar. Thank you. Sir, you need to unmute the mic. Your mic is on mute.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, ma'am, for a beautiful introduction. I'm so happy about it. Ma'am, I'll be using a mic in one device and video and presentation another device.
That won't be an issue, so that's totally up to you.
Okay, so teachers of English, I'm so happy that after this pandemic or epidemic, whatever the demic we call it, has come to an end, and our children has taken the examination very, very successful. A big hats up to everybody. And it's really a beautiful occasion that we have completed this academic year. Kudos to everybody. All teachers be proud that we have done the best job possible. Right? Forget about all the miseries, all those things that we experienced during this pandemic. And now the success lies. So this afternoon, when the child comes back to us and says that, sir, I've done well, madam, I've done well, then there lies the success. And we have done a Herculean task, I believe. So my dear teachers and my dear students, we have done a great job. In case many students are attending this session, you have done a very beautiful job that you have put in all your hard effort, all your efforts to make this exam successful. Right? So after seeing the question paper today, I was so happy that it was a very balanced question paper. So I cannot say it was very tough. May it be set 1 or set 2 or set 3, everything has been so easy. And we could find that our children's smiling faces were there when they came out of the examination hall about the question paper. And there were a few how the question papers were there. Yes. So in the chat box, I think the chat box is open. So if you are a teacher, put your comments about the question paper, or maybe a student, how you felt about the question paper. Please, the chat box is open now.
So till the point people are writing, I would like to give a small disclaimer that whatever answers you are discussing and whatever marking scheme we are discussing, that is just a tentative one from Goyal Brothers Prakashan. This is not issued by the board. So teachers and students, I would again like to repeat the fact that whatever has been, whatever answers we are going to discuss, whatever marking schemes we are going to discuss, all these things are tentative as per Goyal Brothers Prakashan and the expert teacher. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Ma'am has rightly said that. We are just going to discuss the question paper, the marking scheme, or the probable answers. They are not released by the board at all. We are not going to speak about the board. Answer key has to come yet. It is just the expected probable right answers. Okay, there's nothing to do with the board question paper. This is not the question paper, or this is not the marking scheme released by the board. So one of the messages I have received is it's very easy. It was awesome too. What about the others? You can post it as a message to everybody, not a direct message to me. Right. So last examination, when we had the objectives, we found that the comprehension passage was a bit tough. Children felt very difficult to understand the passage and to interpret it. And this time we had very beautiful, motivating passages. Right. So these passages about Milkha Singh and J.K. Rowling, yeah, the paper was a little lengthy and moderate. Yeah, there was a, and this was a lengthy. Do you supposed to be lengthy? Okay, it may be. I'm not very sure about that. Right. And it was very easy. All the words were not very tough. And the questions in the comprehension were a bit easy too. It was not very tough. It was something very relevant. Grammar was tough. Oh my God. Avinash is saying that grammar was tough. Okay. There was one preposition, one article, and one verb, right? Easy to moderate. Oh, it was easy to moderate. Okay. So let me share my screen to you. the answers what I have taken. So I have just taken, the first passage was about Milkha Singh. You could have read that, and your teachers would have given you very good guidelines about how these questions are. So based on your reading, answering 5 questions, you are supposed to answer only 5 questions, right? And you will be able to, you would have been able to do it really well. It's because all questions, all answers were so nice, and so it was what to say, like mostly they were direct questions, right? Mostly they were all direct questions. And you could see that the questions are all very fantastically framed so that you will find things out here and there, right? Okay. So I think the passage was easier. Did you not find it very difficult, tough to read that and find and understand? Vocabulary was easy regarding comprehension. Reading part was tough. Oh my God. Okay, our students found it easy. Good. Right. Let us step into the PowerPoint, what I prepared. Yeah. So the answers we could find, they were a bit easier. Yeah, we have here. So 6 questions were all easy. What is Milkha Singh known as? What realization did Milkha Singh have when he was on the track during the Melbourne Olympics? List any 2 of Milkha Singh's achievements. What strict rules and regulations did Milkha Singh follow? State 2 consequences of his hard and strenuous practice. What motivated Milkha Singh to become the best athlete in the world? Explain the phrase, I would start again in the last sentence. So I've just prepared the answers according to this. What is Milkha Singh known as? You will find it in the first line itself. Milkha Singh, also known as the Flying Sea. So that was the answer. And the next one was about what realization did Milkha Singh have when he was on the track during the Melbourne Olympics? So you can see it in the second page. So in the second page, you can see that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth line, right? So I was the track that I saw how inconsequential my athletes were when pitted. So that is what his challenge. He was telling about his. So that was the right answer for that, I believe. List any 2 of. So you can see in the first paragraph, what it was given in that thing is, we can find that he is the only athlete to win gold in 400 meters at the Asian Games as well as the Commonwealth Games. He also won gold medals in the 1958 and 1962 Asian Games. He represented India in the 1956 Summer Olympics in Melbourne. Right? So these are the few things given. If you could write any 2, that will fetch you the marks. What strict rules and regulations did Milkha Singh follow? So you have it in the second page, page number 2. Right? So you have a second page, page number 2 you have. So in that you could see that it was given as what strict rules. One second paragraph, my life during those 2 years was governed by strict rules and regulation of self-imposed penance. Every morning I would rise at the crack of dawn, get into my sports kit and dash up to the track where I would run 2 or 3 miles. Okay, that was the answer given here. And then state 2 consequences of his hard and strenuous practice. So that was the 6th paragraph. We can find that I was drained of all energy, and there were times when I would vomit blood or drop down unconscious through sheer exercise. So these were the consequences. And what motivated Milkha Singh to become the best athlete in the world? So that you can find that you can see the one of the information given is the last paragraph. The images of a packed stadium filled with. We have one more answer that understood what competition actually meant, and that if we want to succeed in the international arena, I must be prepared to test my mettle against the best athlete in the world. That is the word given there. And you could see that the images of a packed stadium filled with the cheering spectators wildly applauding me as I crossed the finishing line would flash across my mind. And that was the one encouragement given to him. Right? Explain the phrase, I would start again. So that was actually, he was encouraged to start his practice and to gain energy. So that was the first thing which was given. So let me go with a few people have commented. Let me look into. Here is a different set of question papers. The comprehension passages were sifting through sands of time and extraction of purification. Okay. It was in Tamil Nadu. So I'm speaking about the question papers which we got in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, we had set 1, set 2, set 3. In all the 3 sets, we had the same comprehension passages. Right. So we had 3 sets in Tamil Nadu. In these, I do not know whether we had different sets of things being given in different states. Okay, so
Sir, people are writing in the chat box that they have received a separate set of question paper. Can you talk about that?
yes, ma'am. Now that's what, ma'am. In Tamil Nadu, we got 3 sets of question papers. I have all the 3 sets with me. In all the 3 sets, the comprehension passages were same.
All right.
Right.
So
I do not
can
know
everyone
whether
reply in the chat box that is it not, and there is nobody who has got this question paper? Then we can skip the, sir, if state-wise we got the different passage questions, then we can skip the passages altogether. Yeah, I guess in every state, I hope people you will understand that from every state in the question paper, the passages are different. So it is not possible for us to discuss the passages of each and every state and each and every set. I hope you will realize this, that it is not possible for us to discuss passage of each and every state. So can we discuss the questions? Yeah, so we will we can skip the passage part altogether and we can come to the writing and the reading section, sir. Reading is done, writing and literature.
I think a few people have given, like in Rajasthan, they have got this paper.
Okay.
Okay. And
okay,
Richa
so
Kumar
there are a lot of people who are writing. Please continue with this one only. So I would like you to bear,
yes,
I would request all the participants to bear for the passage part, as it is not at all possible for us to discuss the passages of each and every state. So a lot of states have got this set only, the same passages. So we'll discuss the passage and then we'll discuss the other things. Yes, in Bangalore also we have got the same passages, right?
So in Bangalore also they got the same
passages. Yes, sir. Please continue. And otherwise, sir, what we can do is, if in the writing part also the questions are different, then what we can do is we can discuss the tentative points that students need to write accordingly for a passage, for a notice, or whatsoever other topics, right, sir? Okay, so please continue. Avinash, we will start the literature part in a little while because a lot of participants are there who have got the same question paper. So we will discuss this passage with them and then we'll continue with the next parts. Right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So you may continue the webinar. Am I audible, sir? I guess there has been a little network issue with sir. Please bear with us in a while. He'll be back in a while. I would like to regret for the inconvenience. Just give us a while.
Yes, yes,
It has
I'll
been
come
so.
back, ma'am. I'll
Yeah,
come
sir
back.
is back now. Yeah, thank you.
There's a short problem with the internet. I'm sorry about it. So we'll go with that. So what reason the publishers give for rejecting Rowling's book? It is like plot was too complex. That was the reason given by the public. I'm sorry, by the publishers. Next is what is the drawback of achieving fame? It is nothing but you can find in page number 5. Life was turned upside down. Day and night, she had journalists knocking on the unanswered door of the flat. So we can see that she was disturbed often, which she cannot fulfill. Right? So becoming fame, people will be disturbed often. Why was Rowling outraged with the Italian dust jacket? You can see in the same passage, the same page, last passage, you can see out of the Indian Italian dust jacket showed Harry minus his glasses. So that was the answer for that. Find a word in the last para that means the same as insecure or helpless. The word vulnerability. Vulnerability is the word. According to the graph, how many years did it take Rowling to become very successful? If we can count it from 2010, in 2016, the graph rises. So it has taken 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 7 years. Okay, that's it. So visually impaired candidates, we're not looking into. And is this the paragraph what you got? Is it entirely different question paper? I do not know. Did you all get the bar graph, which says a survey was conducted in the national capital in over 20 schools? Was that you all got? Please let me know. Yeah. So the yes, beautiful. Ma'am, please give me a sharing because I just went out and came back. Please give me the host option.
Sir, just a second. Just give me a second.
Yeah, so for this, the people have to take 5 marks. They'll be writing about what is this graph about, right? So for the visually impaired candidates is given another topic. So they'll be writing this particular one. A survey was conducted in the national capital in over 20 schools about the different activities that interest the children in the age group of 13 to 15 years. Write a paragraph in not more than 120 words. So you should have told the children to stick to the word limit. Okay. So 5 marks allotted here, content 3 marks, and they will be given 2 marks for expression organization. Okay, for that 2 marks will be given. Still, I'm not given a host. Please.
Sir, you are the co-host.
Ma'am, I'm not able to share the screen. It says host disabled attendee screen sharing.
The co-host is having the right of screen sharing.
It says host disabled attendee screen sharing when I was about to share. So please see, it's not co-host. As ma'am, I told you in 2 devices I'm there. Only 1 device is given co-host. Please go for the other device also.
Sir, just a second. So now try.
Yeah.
Are you able to present now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, sir.
So you can see that for the analytical writing, we have 5 marks given for content 3 marks. So children will be writing what is the chart about. They have described the topping sentence about distinctly seen points. A comparison and contrast can be taken into. And the concluding sentence, tied to the content of the topic, sentence showcasing a perspective of that. For that, 3 marks will be given. 2 marks will be given for organization expression. You know, the marking scheme would have done that. So let us see the noticeable difference. They'll be writing about the contradictory options and all these things. So they can see that music is occupied by the most number of people. Dance and art occupies more or less the same one. So they have to write about the contradiction, comparison. They have to give contrast, comparison, emphasis. All these things have to be given. So the marks, the words, like in other words, especially specifically, all these words will come into that. So I think we have trained them really well. They'll be able to score 5 marks for this if there are without any grammatical mistakes. If there are grammatical mistakes, half mark or 1 mark will be reduced for the entire thing. So hope there are no visually impaired candidates. The school library is moving towards setting up a section of digital audiobooks. However, teachers feel that the touch and feel of a paper book enhances reading experience. Right? Analytical paragraph on the above argument, not more than 20 words, 120 words. Similarly, same thing here. For the content, 3 marks will be given. So it has to be written as what is the problem and how it has to be approached. And they have to write about the comparison and contrast about audiobooks, digital books, and the normal books. They have to write about it, how it is going to be better than that. For that, marks will be given. And the connected words, like in other words, especially specifically, as opposed to while and striking different, these type of words have to be used where they will be getting 2 marks. And the next one is Electro Writing. And in this Electro Writing, for the content, 2 marks will be given, expression 2 marks, and accuracy 1 mark will be given. So in the content, they have to write about the introduction about the library, because the question is, you are Naharika, in charge of the neighborhood library for children. Write a letter to manuscript publishers placing in order for books 2 sets of Panchatantra and Amar Chitra Kada in about 120 words. Mention mode of payment, library discount, and date of delivery. So this have to be mentioned. That's where we given as accuracy and expression. Okay, the format has to be followed properly. And the important points of the content will be about what is the need for books. They have to place an order. They have to say how the payment will be made. Either now we have gone for GPay mode, or maybe like from bank we can make it. And they have to ask for the discount, usual discount, what we are going for, and the date of delivery have to be discussed. So for this, altogether 5 marks will be given. Accordingly, marks will be reduced. Partial marks will be awarded according to the points which are not there, as well as grammatical mistakes and all. So there is a question asking about detected for spelling mistakes. Definitely spelling mistakes will be taken into account. It's because it's English. Okay. So one question is about the thing. She's asking about 6 years in passage 2. So it starts from 2010. Okay. 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17. So it is given as half of the year. If you take 6 years are given. So if we start from 2010 to 2017, 7 years will be taken into account. So maybe 6 or 7 years can be written. Let us wait for the key, what they're actually going to give that. Okay. Yeah. Then in our class, I think in some of the question papers, editing and drafting is given first, and then report of speech. And some of the question papers, report of speech was given first, and then they have gone for the editing and drafting. So I suppose that we have Ritika and Mohit. So other area teachers, did you get the same thing like Ritika and Mohit? Use the chat box, please. Is this what you got? Ritika and Mohit? No. Okay. So it was like, can I borrow your math book for a couple of days? Yes, certainly. I have already studied for the test tomorrow. So this is the conversation. And it is given as Ritika asked Mohit if, yeah, here is the answer for that. If he could borrow his math book for a couple of days. For a couple of days already given there. So the answer should be if he could borrow his math book. Mohit agreed and said that, see, it is given as I have already studied. It should be changed to he had already studied for the test the following day. Tomorrow is already given. So the only change is that he had already studied for the test the following day or the next day. Editing and drafting is given here like this. A first Indian woman physician, Anandibai Joshi, graduated in 1886, about 125 years later. Indian women had started out to outnumber men in admission of medical college. So this is what I'm looking into. The error correction, I'm going into that now. Okay, so the answer for error correction was given as a first Indian woman physician. That was already given. A first should be changed into the first Indian physician. Anandibai Joshi graduated at 1886. For the years, we have to use in 1886. Yes, it is in 1886. And there is one problem given here in this set of question paper itself. The dash should have been given had start, near had start. But it was given as in men. So some students have confused that the dash is not there. Okay, yeah, dash is given wrong. It is given in the next line. It should have been given as had started. So they should identify had started, and the correct it had start, and the correct should be had started. Okay, so let us wait for the answer key whether the mere attempt mark will be given for this one particular answer, or they have to consider that we do not know. But this is the error. But where the dash is given there, there is no any error. Admissions of medical colleges, it should be admission in medical college. Okay. So, and there is one question asking me why we had different sets, why not the same? So the board has to answer to that. I do not know why, because I think this is the very first time that different states have got different question papers. Maybe because of COVID, I'm not very sure. I cannot comment on anything about this. So we have to wait and see what this board is going to give. Yeah, instead of if we, so here it could be like, in this it could be like whether he could borrow his math book for a couple of days. Absolutely right, but it should be like WHETHER, not WEATHER, right? And now literature part, we had 3 sets of question papers. In all the 3 sets, we had 3, that is for 6 questions, 30 to 40 words. Short answers, we had 7 different question papers in all the 3 sets. Okay. Whereas in paragraph questions, we had 3 questions. Same 3 questions were asked with a different orders. That's all. Okay. So now let us discuss section C, literature. And so in the first set, we had, these are the questions. Yeah, the first question, why is Coor called the land? So I just forgot to give the answers. All this will carry 1 mark each, and there will not be any partial marks will be given. The children had not written as already or had is not changed. Marks will not be given, I suppose, but answer key might say if they change, because there are 2 corrections there. If he could borrow, if is changed, I is changed to he, can is changed to could. 3 changes are there in the first one. Second thing, had is changed, following day is changed, he is changed. So again, 3 changes are there. So board might give partial marks for if at least 2 answers are changed. Right? This carries 1 mark each. And this I've told you about the marking scheme, what could be done. Definitely marks for the grammatical concept will be reduced, both in the analytical writing as well as in the letter writing. Okay. So in set 1, the first question was, why is Coorg called the land of rolling hills? And the answer is, it has a lot of hills, and it itself is a hill station, and you can see the very beautiful view of that. So for this 2 marks will be given if they are given as lot of hills, and it is a hill station itself. Second question was, why does Natalia, what was the objective of Lamo's visit to Chubukov's house? So Lamo went to Chubukov's house to ask him to marry his daughter Natalia. He asked Chubukov for Natalia's hand. So this is the reason. So if they could have given the exact answer for this and without any grammatical mistakes, they will be given 2 marks. What third question is, Amanda was blamed for a number of things mentioned in 2. So I've just given 2 things. She was eating too many chocolates and she was not listening to her mother. These are 2 reasons I've given. If the children have given 2 reasons with proper correction, everything, they'll be awarded 2 marks. Walt Whitman speaks of the human race with a tinge of sarcasm. Which are the 2 reasons that you agree with? So many reasons were given. Children can write any 2 reasons that they agree with. So better than human beings, greed and materialistic desires, ego, hatred and hypocrisy, humans use the values, all these things can be used, and children will write any two reasons. For that, marks will be awarded. 1 mark for each reason. And then fifth one, how did Custard prove the cowardly dragon tag to be untrue? So he pounced upon the pirate as a robin pounces upon an insect. These heroic deeds of Custard proved that he was not a coward. Then what role did Ebright's mother play in his success? So she's the one who was an important role, making him a scientist. She motivated him to learn new things. She took him on trips, bought him telescopes and everything. If you could write at least 2 points on this, you'll be able to score marks. How was the hack driver recognized? So Oliver Atkins, who disguised as Bill, the hack driver, he had deceived the young lawyer about who he really was. When the lawyer was not able to find, Atkins went to his boss, who sent him back with the person who knew Atkins. On reaching there, they found Bill, who his companion recognized as Atkins himself. So you should be, if you could have given the reason properly there, and you will be getting the marks. Yeah, there are some partial marks will not be given. Next day's test is also correct. Next day's test is also correct. Don't worry about it. Yeah, he had already studied for the next day's test. It's correct. Yes, definitely is correct. We should get grace marks for the wrong dash. We will be expecting it, ma'am. We can drop the letters. We can see whether it is possible or not. Okay. Right. So next day's question, we should get grace marks. Partial mark will not be given definitely. Right. So can we write for biting nails and hunching? Yes, yes, yes. We can. She was, yeah, she can blamed for any two reasons are okay. Yes, will we get marks if he had already studied for the test which was upcoming next day? Why do you make it so much complicated, Vanilla? If it is writing, if they have written at least one answer, anything will be correct. Will give mark if write next day instead of the following day. So I'm not going to do Arshit. The board is going to do the following day, next day, the day after, everything is correct, I believe. Tomorrow, maybe it cannot be accepted. Tomorrow, we use only the direct speech. We don't do that. I report a speech. Ritika is a girl. Okay. Instead of Amanda, it was given. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Amanda. Oh, in the question paper, you say Ananda. Yeah. So let us wait and see what can be done. Right. Set 2, we have questions here. Why are Kodavas permitted to carry firearms without license? Because of their bravery and valor. If you have written these two keywords, bravery and valor, you will be given marks for that. Second question was, why did Chibuko misunderstand the purpose of Lamo's book? So Chibuko misunderstands that Lamo has come to borrow money. He does not reveal his purpose of coming directly. Instead, he says that he has come to trouble him with a request for help. Right? That was the reason for his misunderstanding. As a reader, do you identify with Amanda? How? So this varies from person to person. The children have to give their own answers and they have to justify why this answer was given. Okay. So what two attributes of the animals please the poet? So it is more or less like the previous question what you have said. Okay. So the previous question, like Whitman's sarcasm, the same type of answer can be given here. So they are better than human beings, greed, materialistic, any answers can be given to that. Now, can we write for biting nails? Yeah, that's correct. Vidya has given a very good answer as you can write. Yeah. So next is fifth question. Why did everyone laugh at Realio, truly a dragon? So it's wonderful that they have given the lesson's name at the bracket. Children will not be confused about it. Right? So fifth question given because Belinda tickled the dragon unmercifully because it was very scared and cried for a safe cage. So they all laughed at it as it a coward. Right? So if you could write the reason and then justify it, you will be given marks for that. How did Ebright get the idea of new theory about cell life? So he discovered that these spots produce a hormone which helped in butterfly's full development. Later, he proved that the absence of the hormone would make monarch a normal butterfly. He cultured the hormones, identified its chemical structure. It led to his theory. So if they could write at least 2 points about it, they'll be able to score 2 marks for that. Why was the narrator happy to go to New Mullion? So narrator did not like the dirty and dark sides of the city life. He thought that he would find some pleasant sights in New Mullion. So he was happy to go there. He went there to serve summons on Oliver Latt. So that was the reason. So at least wherever you find 2 points must be there. So the children will be able to get full 2 marks in case there are no spelling errors, no grammatical errors. In case there are some spelling errors and grammatical errors, marks can be reduced here and there. Partial marks will be awarded. So set 3, we have different set of question papers. I mean, in Tamil Nadu, set 1, set 2, set 3, literature part, only those questions were different. Yeah, can we have the answers for comprehension passage 1? We discussed it, Jasmine. Let me see if at the end of the session, if you have time, we'll discuss again. So, Kodavas have contradictory traits. Suppose the statement with reference to the text. Yes, the two contradictory traits of the character of Kodavas are the descent of the people, the Greek or Arab. As per legend, the part of Alexander's army moved south. It settled here with the return, when return became impossible. So these people then married the locals. So you could take any one of two or examples from that and you can give it there. Why does Natalia quarrel with Lamau? So Lamau fought with Natalia for a piece of land. Both of them want to have a claim for the same piece of land. So that was the reason why they quarreled. Why does Amanda wish to be a mermaid? So Amanda wishes to be a mermaid so she could float alone in the joyfully drowsy emerald ocean. So she longs to be a vagrant. So she can go like a mermaid. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. What human trait does the poet condemn in these lines? So from these, the artist needs to convey that the creatures never gripe about any circumstances the people do. Creatures are vain and quiet. They are rarely remorseful. So these are the reasons why the poet want to condemn this. Yeah, even for dogs you can write. Yeah, that also can be given. Okay. So Alka, please see that we have these question papers. I have these question papers. It seems that all over the country we have 5 or 6 sets of question papers. Okay, because after the chat only I come to know about it. I thought the same set of question papers were given to all the states. Okay, maybe if you could type the answers, here, we will be able to give you the answers. For grammar, if you could type the question paper here, let me see if I could give the marks for that. I mean, the answers for that. Fifth question, how was Belinda's behavior with the dragon? Belinda teased the dragon. She tickled the dragon very hard. So these are the behavior. If they could write 1 or 2, definitely they will be able to score marks for this. Why do viceroy butterflies copy the monarchs? So birds eat viceroy butterflies because they taste good to them, where monarch butterflies do not taste good to the birds. So the viceroys try to copy the monarchs to protect themselves from the birds. So if you could give the answer this and that, they'll be able to give 2 marks for that. How was Lutkins described by the hack driver? The description given by the hack driver of the character of the Lutkins is a dishonest person. According to him, the Lutkins played the game of poker regularly and he was expert at misguiding people. Okay. So this is what the answers for set 1, set 2, and set 3. So again, there are a few questions asked about the grammar part. So this is the grammar part I have told here. I think Sutapa, is this you're asking for? I do not know. Okay. So Aruna is asking preposition deleted from the thing. So preposition deleted, but like if this is something what the people have to use from common sense. From grade 6 onwards, they are learning this. Okay, so I think they should be able to write. Let us wait and see what the board gives. Even got money from so many persons. Yeah, you can use that also, no problem. What does the writer recall about his childhood in Goa? So I have to refer that Kashish. I would refer that and say I'm sorry about that because immediately I cannot tell about that. Okay, so thanks for reporter speech. This is okay, and this editing and drafting. Okay, set 1, set 3, and the set 1 paper, the first question was, how does Buddha bring about different perspective in Kisa Gotami's understanding of life? Second question was, as a reader, do you empathize with Matilda? Third was, as Wally, make a diary entry about your experience. In set 2, we had, as Wally, make a diary entry, how does Buddha bring? And as a reader, you empathize with Matilda. And set 3, we had the Buddha question first. As a reader, how do you sympathize with Matilda? Second. And third question is, Wally, make a diary entry. Sutapa's error correction is same for all the 3 sets. Only problem is 4th and 5th questions are interchanged. Other than that, they are same. Okay. Set 2 here is this there. This is what the answers I've taken. So again, I'm telling you, this is not with the board answer key. Okay, this is for as far as I am concerned. Okay, the board has not released the answer key so far. We are just discussing the answers. Okay, I have not given you the board question answers, board pattern, everything. These are expected. These may be the answer and these may be the answer key. That is what we have thought about. So in this paragraph answers, we have 2 questions which the children have to write by themselves. One is, as Valli make a diary entry about experience of riding the bus alone for the first time. So here the students have to follow the exact pattern for diary entry. They have to write the date. They have to address it properly. Okay, they have to end it properly. This is what they have to write. And then the content, how they experience. This is something they can write about as they please. Okay, like how it is experienced. As Valli, they have to write it, but they can change here and there. They will not write exactly from the book, but they have to follow the book answers here and there. Okay, so Jammu Kashmir has got a different set of question paper. Jagmeet Kaur says, maybe I may request Goyal brothers to get the question papers together, all of them. And in case we find another time, we may discuss, we may have one more session after a day or two collecting all the papers, because sitting in the corner of this country, I will not be able to. I'm somewhere near south side, and Kashmir was somewhere else in the other side of mine. So it's difficult to get back all the question papers. And only now so good that we are able to know that many states have got different sets of question papers.
So we'll try to do that. We'll coordinate with everyone and we'll definitely get back to you if it's possible for us to do.
Yes. So what you can do is, maybe you can the email ID can be shared. Goyal's email ID will be shared.
We already have that. We already have email IDs of everyone. We'll try to coordinate and we'll get back to you about this.
Scan the question papers and send it mentioning in the subject that this is the question paper of Jammu and Kashmir. This is the question paper for Haryana.
We'll discuss it.
Right,
so both of us will discuss this thing at the end of the webinar. Outside the Zoom session, we'll discuss it on a personal level. Yeah. You may continue with the webinar only. Yeah,
we'll do that. Yeah. So first question was, does Valli make a diary entry? So they have to write the proper format, addressing the diary properly. Then they have to write about the content of that, then finishing it off. This entirely differs from person to person, and the marks will be given for, as it is, 3 marks for the content, 2 marks for entire organization and accuracy. Definitely marks for partial marks will be awarded for wrong information or something which the Valli, what they have taken in this story, and the Valli, what they have taken are different. Definitely they will not be able to score marks for that. Maybe for mere attempt, for somewhat relevant, they'll be able to get marks. And another question, as a reader, do you sympathize with Matilda? Give reasons, the text to support your answer. So if they could write yes or no, so from that they have to take with Matilda, how she lost her necklace, how she longed for the life. Okay, so they have to live as Matilda. Okay, they have to be in the shoes of Matilda to write about that. Similarly, here again, the content 3 marks will be given, and for the accuracy and the organization 2 marks will be given. How they have connected the idea from the text to that of Matilda, they have to write. Here, children have to attempt 2 questions. One is direct question, like how does Buddha bring about a different perspective in Kiza Gotami's understanding of life? So that they'll be getting the full marks about it. But they have to write the content. So direct question can be written. And the remaining 2, they have to choose one. So Buddha, Kitagota. So here, Kisa, I'm sorry, it's not Kita, it's Kisa. Comprehended that she was being egotistical, the distress, the death saves nobody. It's normal for everything, and there does not exist individual who was not lost a darling. Indeed, this was the very thing that Buddha believed she should comprehend. So they should be able to expand this, because they have to write for 120 words. They have to expand this, they'll be able to write it. So from that, they have to come to a conclusion. Again, what will be given here is 4 marks. It is for 4 marks. I'm extremely sorry. It was a 4 marks, not for 5 marks. So they will be given content for 3 marks, probably. Content 2 marks and 2 marks for organization accuracy. Or it might be like 3 marks for the content and 1 mark for accuracy and the other thing, organization. So like that, marks will be given. Definitely marks will be reduced for the grammatical concepts, spelling mistakes and everything. Okay. So diary entry, I told you that they have to write the format of the diary entry. They have to address it properly. They have to connect it to the lesson, and then they have to write how he or she will feel about it.
Sir,
Okay,
we
that
do
is
not
what they
need
have
to. Sir, we do not need to repeat the things as we are falling short of time now. We
Yes,
will
yes,
be
ma'am.
we,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
we
I
will be sharing the YouTube link with everyone so that again they can again go through the link and
Yeah,
listen to wherever whatsoever parts they have missed out.
Yes. So, my dear teachers, my dear friends, my dear teachers, everybody, this is, I think we have come to the end of the session. So, again, I'm just giving a caution to you. These are not at all the questions which are related, released by the board or something else. Okay, these are one which, to my point of view, what I came to know about it. Okay, there's nothing about to deal with the entire board, the point mark and everything. So something what I felt, this could be the probable answer and it can be taken. This could be the probable mark scheme and all, right? So altogether, we have done a very beautiful job of taking the students till the journey to the board. And I'm sure that this session would have enlightened you with a few things. And for some of the questions, we were not able to give the answers. It's because we are not very much sure about the questions which were taken from where and everything. Okay. In case if we could come across that, we'll discuss that again. Okay. So thanks a lot for attending the session. If students are attending the session, very
So can we
well.
ask can we ask teachers and students to ask their doubts whatsoever they have?
Yeah,
They
you can
can
put
they
in
can
the
write their
chat box.
doubts in the chat box regarding
Yes,
the current things whatsoever is
Yeah.
possible in our in a power right now, because as we have a lot of sets, but still if there are any kind of general queries regarding any XYZ things, so Miss Nupur, we will be sharing the YouTube link with you so that you can see the PPT, you can have the screenshots and whatsoever thing you want to know. So we will be sharing the YouTube link with you so that you can go through the whole webinar again. Apart from this, is there any general doubts that people have? They can ask that doubt so that sir can answer the query.
Can I speak? Am I audible?
Yes, Miss Nupur, you're audible.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, like, we make a question paper for 8th standard children, suppose English. So we divide into 4 sections. Like, first section is the reading section. Then next section is grammar and composition. Last section is literature. So we generally give seen and unseen para in the reading section, and then grammar and composition written, and then last section we give them literature related, that is textbook related questions. We are following the NCERT pattern, and we follow literature as well as reader 2 books we follow. So any changes, anything new that I can introduce in my question paper?
Sir, can you answer? Yeah.
This is okay. The question is okay, but it's no related to the discussion that we are doing now. So as far as up to 8th or 9th is concerned, you can decide whatever you want to give in the question paper. So it's up to you to decide whether you want to add anything or you want to, if you want to follow the exact board pattern, go ahead with the same 10th board pattern what we are following. Or if you want to add a few more content in that, you can go ahead with that. So it is left to you to decide for 8th grade. Yes, and there was one thing like which department I belong to. I teach English. I've been teaching English for the past 25 years. So, right. So I think that was the answer it was asked.
All right. I would like to thank everyone, all the participants, and specifically Satish sir for such an enlightening session. Thank you so much, sir, for answering all the questions so patiently and so wonderfully, and all the participants to be such a wonderful listeners. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you and all the best.